You walk downstairs and something smells wrong. Most people ignore it. That is a mistake. 7. Basement odors rank from nuisance to genuinely life-threatening, and we are breaking down every one, starting with the smell nearly half of American homes already have. Number 1, the musty or mildew smell is the classic sign of basement trouble. This odor comes from mold and mildew thriving on damp surfaces, often drywall, wood, or carpet, when humidity climbs above 60%. Mold starts with invisible spores, then grows into fuzzy or powdery patches that can be white, green, or black. As colonies mature, the smell gets stronger and the health risks rise. The EPA considers spore counts up to 500 per cubic meter normal, but readings over 1,000 mean unhealthy air, and 47% of U.S. homes report mold odors. The fix starts with drying out the space, run a dehumidifier, repair leaks, and clean small patches with detergent. If you see growth larger than 10 square feet, or if the smell lingers after drying, it is time for a professional assessment. Chronic exposure can worsen asthma and allergies, but prompt moisture control and ventilation can keep this all-too-common problem from becoming a crisis. In second place, the rotten egg smell signals a true emergency. This sharp sulfur odor can mean one of two things: a natural gas leak or a buildup of hydrogen sulfide from a stagnant sump pit. Utilities add mercaptan to natural gas, so leaks are detectable at just 0.5 parts per million, well below dangerous levels, but the risk is immediate. Methane concentrations between 5 and 15% can explode from a single spark. Hydrogen sulfide, on the other hand, is toxic above 10 parts per million and can cause eye irritation, dizziness, or even respiratory paralysis if levels spike. If you notice this smell, do not flip light switches or use electronics. Open doors and windows only if it is safe, evacuate everyone, including pets, and call the gas company or 911 from outside. In a Boston case, delayed action after a hydrogen sulfide buildup in a sump pit led to emergency room visits. When in doubt, treat every rotten egg odor as a life-threatening warning and get out fast. Third on our list, a sewage or foul odor points straight to plumbing trouble below the surface. The most common culprit is a dry P-trap. When a floor drain or an unused sink sits idle, water evaporates and the seal that blocks sewer gases can break. Running water in every basement fixture often restores the barrier in seconds and stops the smell. But if the odor lingers, especially after refilling traps, the risk grows. A cracked or collapsed sewer line may be leaking methane and ammonia into the soil beneath the slab. Methane becomes explosive at just 5% volume, and ammonia can irritate eyes and lungs above 25 parts per million. Professional plumbers use closed-circuit television cameras to spot hidden breaks. For example, in a Toronto condo, a cracked lateral pipe sent toxic gas into the parking garage. If multiple fixtures are affected or gas detectors show rising levels, call in a licensed expert for a full sewer survey. Number 4, an earthy or soil-like smell in the basement often means water is finding its way through the foundation. This scent, sometimes described as wet earth or mushroomy, is a direct clue that groundwater is seeping in, especially after heavy rain or snowmelt. Early warning signs include white chalky efflorescence on concrete, dark stains on walls, or a subtle persistent dampness underfoot. When a moisture meter shows gypsum board readings above 15% WME, that crosses the threshold where structural damage accelerates and professional intervention is needed. Bowing walls or long cracks along mortar joints signal that water pressure is building up behind the foundation, risking costly repairs. The solution starts outside. Redirect water with better grading, install French drains, and keep gutters clear. Inside, seal small cracks, run a dehumidifier, and consider a sump pump for chronic issues. Catching this smell early can prevent foundation failure and the mold that often follows. Number 5. A sharp chemical smell in the basement signals the presence of volatile organic compounds, often from old paints, stored solvents, or deteriorating urea-formaldehyde insulation. These fumes can build up to dangerous levels in poorly ventilated spaces. Formaldehyde above 0.75 parts per million, the OSHA permissible exposure limit, can cause eye, nose, and throat irritation. Benzene above 1 part per million raises cancer risk over time. Chronic exposure, even at lower levels, is linked to headaches and respiratory symptoms. The EPA recommends indoor air stay below 0.1 parts per million for formaldehyde. A $250 million settlement was reached over urea formaldehyde insulation that sickened thousands of homeowners. If a chemical odor lingers, increase ventilation by opening windows and running exhaust fans, and remove stored solvents or flaking paint. When a volatile organic compound monitor reads above 0.5 parts per million, or if symptoms persist, call a certified indoor air specialist for professional removal and air scrubbing. Early action reduces both immediate discomfort and long-term health risks. Number 6. The smell of burning plastic or acrid ozone in a basement is a red flag for electrical danger. This odor often signals overheated wiring hidden behind walls, overloaded circuits, or damaged insulation, sometimes from a nail or screw driven into a wire during renovation. When plastic insulation breaks down at temperatures above 150 degrees Celsius, it releases a sharp metallic scent that can fill the basement quickly. Electrical faults in basements account for 28% of home fire incidents involving wiring, and the National Fire Protection Association reports that electrical fires cause 12% of residential fire deaths. If you notice this smell, the first step is to shut off the main breaker immediately. Do not touch any outlets or switches. Evacuate the building and call the fire department from outside. Never attempt to investigate or repair the issue yourself. Insurance claims for electrical fires average $6,000 per incident, and code violations, such as missing ground fault protection or undersized wires, are common in older homes. A licensed electrician should inspect every circuit before power is restored. The risk here is immediate ignition and rapid fire spread, making this one of the most urgent basement odors a homeowner can encounter. Number 7. The unmistakable stench of a dead animal signals a biohazard hiding somewhere in the basement. This putrid odor comes from the release of ammonia, putrescine, and cadaverine as tissue breaks down, compounds that are strong enough to cause headaches, nausea, and even asthma attacks in sensitive people. Locating the source often means following the scent trail, checking for droppings or gnaw marks, and using a pest control endoscope camera to probe wall cavities or floor voids. Once found, removal demands gloves, a respirator, and sealed bags to prevent direct contact with bacteria and irritants. The CDC warns that carcasses over 1 kilogram or odors lasting more than 48 hours should trigger a call to professionals who can safely extract the remains and disinfect the area with EPA-approved biocides. Afterward, ventilate the basement thoroughly and seal any entry points to prevent future intrusions. In Manchester, a raccoon trapped in a crawlspace led to weeks of persistent odor and a full-scale biohazard cleanup. That case is proof that dead animal smells are more than a nuisance. They are a serious health risk requiring swift, specialized action. Across all these basement odors, one truth stands out. Smells are signals, not just nuisances. Ignoring them risks missing hidden dangers. In home safety, your nose is an early warning system.